In the year 2000, Netflix was just a struggling DVD by mail company losing money. Desperate, they walked into Blockbuster's office with one proposal: buy us for just $50 million. Blockbuster laughed them out of the room. Today, Blockbuster is extinct, and Netflix is worth billions. Let's x-ray how it happened. To understand Netflix's rise, we first need to look at Blockbuster. In the late 90s, Blockbuster was a giant. 9,000 stores worldwide, billions in revenue, and total dominance over home entertainment. Renting a movie meant Blockbuster, period. But in its strength lay its weakness. Netflix was founded on the 29th of August, 1997 by two people, Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph. Their idea? Mail DVDs to your home. No late fees, no hassle. At first, Netflix was just a small business. They were bleeding cash and were struggling to keep up. So in 2000, Hastings offered Blockbuster a partnership. Netflix would run their online service, and Blockbuster would promote them in stores. Price tag? $50 million. Blockbuster's CEO laughed. He thought Netflix was a joke. To be fair, it just wasn't that good of a deal. But that laugh might just turn out to be one of the most expensive laughs in business history. After being disgracefully rejected by Blockbuster, Netflix in its moment of crisis refused to fold and simply call it quits. Instead, they innovated, they evolved, they doubled down on strategies they could implement to improve their services. First, Netflix introduced their subscription service in 1999. They offered unlimited DVD rentals for a fixed monthly fee, replacing the original paper rental model of their 1998 launch. This pioneering flat fee system eliminated due dates and late fees, and subscribers had access to unlimited rentals. They'd get their chosen DVDs by mail after selecting them through the website. Customers loved it. Then, in 2007, Netflix made their boldest move: streaming. Instead of waiting for DVDs, you could watch instantly any movie of your choice on your computer. The future had arrived. Meanwhile, Blockbuster was collapsing under its own weight. On the surface, the company was making billions, but much of it came from one of the most hated policies in retail history: late fees. Every year, Blockbuster collected nearly $800 million from customers who returned movies a day or two late. It was easy money for the company, but it created a toxic relationship with their customers. Families dreaded the penalty, and the brand slowly became a symbol of frustration rather than entertainment. As Netflix grew by promising no late fees ever, Blockbuster tried to fight back. They launched their own online rental service in 2004, but it was an afterthought, not a vision. Their leadership was too focused on protecting their massive network of physical stores, which had once been their strength, but were now dragging them down. Debt piled up, innovation slowed, and arrogance blinded their executives. By the time they realized the future was streaming, Netflix was already years ahead. By 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. From a staggering 9,000 stores worldwide to just one lonely location in Oregon, now treated like a living museum. Not of what they achieved, but of what they failed to see. Netflix didn't just survive. They reinvented entertainment. What began as a DVD by mail service transformed into a global streaming empire. In 2007, Netflix launched its online streaming platform, a move that completely changed how people consumed media. No more waiting for DVDs in the mail. With just an internet connection, viewers could instantly watch movies and TV shows from home, but Netflix didn't stop at streaming. By 2013, they were producing their own original content, starting with House of Cards. It wasn't just a hit series, it was proof that Netflix could compete with traditional Hollywood studios. Soon came Orange is the New Black, Narcos, and later cultural phenomena like Stranger Things and The Crown. These shows didn't just attract viewers, they created loyal subscribers who wouldn't cancel. The strategy worked. Netflix's subscriber base exploded from just a few million in the early 2000s to over 200 million worldwide today, spanning more than 190 countries. They didn't just dominate streaming, they reshaped the entertainment industry itself. The irony is hard to miss. The tiny company that Blockbuster dismissed as a niche experiment not only survived, but went on to destroy Blockbuster's entire business model and redefine how the world watches television. As if that wasn't enough, Netflix went beyond simply streaming shows and movies. They became a global powerhouse in content creation. By the late 2010s, Netflix was spending billions every year producing original films, documentaries, and series. They weren't just a platform anymore. They were a full-fledged studio, competing with Hollywood itself. They made history by earning Academy Awards for original documentaries like Icarus and Roma, and they shook the industry when The Irishman, a Martin Scorsese film, premiered on Netflix instead of theaters. At the same time, Netflix was breaking into every market on Earth, offering content in multiple languages and funding local productions from Spain to South Korea. By doing this, Netflix didn't just dominate streaming, they rewrote the rules of entertainment, forcing traditional media giants like Disney and Warner Brothers to play catch-up. Netflix's rise wasn't just about shows like Stranger Things. They built credibility by producing award-winning documentaries and partnering with some of the biggest names in entertainment. Their documentaries became cultural conversations, Making a Murderer, Tiger King, The Social Dilemma, and Our Planet, narrated by Sir David Attenborough. Each one proved that Netflix wasn't just about entertainment. They could shape public opinion, ignite debates, and even influence culture. And when it came to Hollywood talent, Netflix attracted names once unimaginable for a streaming service. They worked with legends like Martin Scorsese on The Irishman, Alfonso Cuarón with Roma, and Shonda Rhimes, the powerhouse behind Grey's Anatomy and Bridgerton. They signed Ryan Murphy, the creator of Glee and American Horror Story, to a $300 million deal. Even comedians like Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart chose Netflix for exclusive specials. Netflix didn't just buy content, they bought credibility, influence, and prestige. The story of Netflix versus Blockbuster isn't just about movies, it's about vision. Blockbuster had money, power, and dominance, but dominance is temporary if you refuse to change. Netflix, on the other hand, built its empire on innovation, persistence, and the courage to adapt. In business, adaptation beats size every single time. Charles Darwin once wrote, "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the one most adaptable to change." That applies as much to companies as it does to life. Steve Jobs said, "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower." Blockbuster chose to follow too late. Netflix chose to lead. Here's the takeaway for entrepreneurs and creators. Listen to your customers before your competitors do. As Jeff Bezos said, "We're not competitor-obsessed, we're customer-obsessed." Take calculated risks. Netflix bet on streaming when it was unproven. Warren Buffett once said, "Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing." Study, then act boldly. Don't let comfort blind you. The same profits that made Blockbuster strong also made them arrogant. Mark Cuban put it simply, "Work like someone is trying to take it all away from you," because they are. Netflix versus Blockbuster is a lesson for every business and every dreamer. Success belongs to the ones willing to evolve, even when it feels uncomfortable. And that is the X-ray of business, breaking down what others miss. This is the Business X-ray.